Hey guys, welcome to my channel and thank you so much for watching What is Good. I am Jade if you're new here, and so a quick update from me to you guys about Osinachi's impending case. So recently, Osinachi's family members such as her mother and her sisters, including her twin sister, granted an interview to BBC Igbo. If you guys recall, earlier in this case, the sister had granted an interview to Vanguard where she detailed everything that happened. Now they are speaking on camera and sharing more information. So a couple of things to clear out right off the bat, because I keep seeing this recurring question from people in the comment section asking, why did the family not intervene? Why did they not do everything that they could to save their sister and their daughter's life? Well, according to the family, they didn't even know that Osinachi was going through this. She managed to keep her domestic violence situation from her family. Plus, it didn't help that they did not live in the same state. And so they only got to know about it when people, outsiders, started to bring those things to their attention. And when they eventually knew about it, they confronted Osinachi about it. And she basically told them that he will change, that they should not worry. Another important fact is that at some point after the second child was born, Osinachi actually left that marriage, separated from the man for a period of 1 year. So you guys remember in my previous video with discussing the interview that they had with Vanguard, the sister mentioned that Osinachi actually called her one day and said, please come and get me, this man will kill me. That was around when they just had the second child. So she went to Osinachi's and got her out of there. And Osinachi stayed gone for about a year until he came with some people, including some pastors from Dunami's church, to beg. He begged and he promised never to do it again, and that was when Osinachi went back to him. And as you can see, nothing changed. He just ended up killing her. She should have stayed gone. She should have stayed gone. According to her sister Amarachi Grace, they first met Peter when they traveled to Abuja to sing. She said at first Osinachi was not interested. She wanted nothing to do with Peter, and she didn't give him her number even though he insisted. But somehow he got the twin sister's number and continued to bother her. She said she doesn't know what happened, but somehow he was able to convince Osinachi to marry him. And she did. According to her, there wasn't a courtship. Everything happened fast. He paid her bride price and they had a wedding. According to the sister, he treated their family very poorly. He wouldn't even allow Osinachi's twin sister, Marachi, to be her maid of honor as they had planned. Can you imagine your own twin sister, somebody taking that away from you? Like, twins are generally close, and it's an unspoken rule that if one is getting married, especially if it's a situation where they are both girls, if one is getting married, that role of the maid of honor is already been called for. Nobody even, no rival, no whatsoever. So for him to deprive her twin sister of that is just evil, pure evil. And that's also a testament to how vindictive this man is. I guess he's still reeling over the fact that the sister did not convince or did not play a part in Osinachi marrying him. So he held that, in my opinion, over her head. So according to the family, Peter did not allow Osinachi to have any kind of relationship with her family. When she had her first two children, he didn't even inform them. He didn't allow her to inform them that the family had to find out from outsiders. They had to find out from other people. Like, just let that sink in for a minute. That can actually make you start to understand the kind of, this is beyond narcissism. Honestly, at the top of my head, I cannot even think of a particular word that better describe this man. On this one, I think I'm going to have to refer back to one of my American Psychological Association books. Maybe I can find an adjective that better qualified this man, because I can't think of anything at the top of my head. Like, this man is just vile. According to the sister, when Osinachi's older brother died, Peter did not even pay them any condolence visit. He did not care. Osinachi called them after her second child to let them know that Peter had threatened her life, that she would leave his house dead or alive, and that she was afraid. They managed to get her out of the house, and she and her two children stayed with them for a year and 3 months before he came with some other people to beg her to return home, which she did. According to Osinachi's family, they begged her not to return to Peter and that she can actually marry again. But Osinachi chose to go back to him. Her marriage situation obviously did not improve. She then had 2 more children. Mr. Peter Nwachukwu was allegedly in the habit of abusing his late wife, insulted her family. He did not allow them to visit her. He threatened to separate Osinachi and her twin sister. According to her sister, Osinachi was a peace-loving person, very quiet to a fault, and she didn't believe in divorce. And when things would get crazy, she will beg everyone involved to make peace. She believed so strongly that Mr. Peter Nwachukwu would change, but everyone kept telling her that the man does not have it in him to change. And according to her family, Mr. Peter Nwachukwu does not have a job, but somehow he was in charge of all of the money that Osinachi was making. Like, he was in control. That she would have to go to him to ask for money whenever she needed money for herself. According to her family, she was sick in January and February, and lab work was done, but nothing was found. Before she died, while she was in the hospital, while she was still conscious, Osinachi asked her friend to bring her some food. And when that friend got there, Osinachi was gone. So it was the friend who called Osinachi's family to let them know what had happened. Her husband, Mr. Peter Nwachukwu, did not have the decency to call them. According to her family, Osinachi passed away in the morning, but Mr. Peter Nwachukwu didn't call the mother to tell her until in the evening. And when they responded in a way that he didn't like, he simply hung up the phone and switched off and stopped communicating with them altogether. The family say that they are leaving everything for God to judge because he's the final judge. And yeah, all of that is well and good though, but I still want to see justice served in this situation. I still want to see this man pay on earth here while we are all here. I still want to see him pay for the things that he's been accused of doing, if in fact he did those things. Because, this needs to serve as a deterrent. Sadly, things have to happen sometimes for people to wake up. As terrible as this Osinachi situation, the one good thing that I can say that is coming out of this is that a lot more people, and by people, I don't just mean you and I mean people in authority. I mean Daddy Geos and Mommy Geos and what have you. A lot of them are speaking out now. A lot of them are basically speaking against domestic violence in a way that we have never seen before. And I'm thankful for that, So it means that we are waking up. The society is getting, there. Society is getting there, getting to a place where we can have these conversations, Pastors can tell their church members, their male church members, to keep their hands to themselves and stop abusing their wives. This is something that we've never seen before. So more pastors, more spiritual leaders are speaking out. And that's the one thing, that's the silver lining that I on my own can pick from this really, really gray situation. So I thank God for that. What is it that I always say on this channel? That sometimes bad things have to happen to other people for you to learn, for change to happen, for things to start moving in the right direction. So unfortunately that Sister Osinachi is the one who had to pay the price. And just listening to her family members, a lot of this, unfortunately, is, I hate to say this, a lot of these are self-inflicted, because she was such a product of her society. She believed so much in marriage. She didn't believe in divorce. Plus, going to a church where they tell you straight up that no matter what happened, it's better for you to not just marry than for you to marry and get a divorce, because it is unacceptable. They will tell you straight up that divorce is a no-no. So imagine going to church and hearing that drilled in your brain every single time. That is bound to influence the way you see life, the way you see marriage. Because in your mind, you'll be thinking, I don't want to fail. How can I be the one who fails? I'm sure other women are going through this. If they can bear it, so can I. So you don't want to be ostracized from your church. You don't want to be scapegoated. You don't want to be shunned by your church. I mean, think about it. After this man isolated her from her family. The only thing remotely close to a family circle that she had was the church. And she clearly values the church community as she loves going there. So imagine if she had maybe proceeded with the divorce and then getting shunned by the church. That would have been traumatizing and devastating for her. But my thing is that no matter what, unless of course you don't value your life and the lives of the children that you have brought into this world, you should choose yourself first so you can be there for your children, and everyone else is just going to have to catch up. And they do eventually, because this man clearly is a bum. Nobody's going to take him. Not a lot of people put up with the things that Osinachi put up with. So at the end of the day, he will just be a lonely, evil man paying for his crimes, paying for his sins while he's on it. That's what you do. You don't stay. You don't. Anyways, that's where I'm going to end this. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Like this video if you like it. Subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much. I'll catch you guys in my next one. Bye, guys.